right, students, I hope you are in the pink of health, safe and sound, following the guidelines, working hard for yourself. Yes, sustenance in every field of our lives is very important. So first we have to keep living, and then yes, study, all the activities, life activities have to be balanced. At the same time, we'll have to take great care of ourselves. All right, we can easily keep this pandemic away from us. All right, so not to worry much about it. All right, so we are back to our studies. Today we are going to just revise triangle chapter of standard 9th. Okay, we'll recall. Yes, do you remember that chapter well? Have you learnt it well? Fine. Okay, so congruency of triangles. When are the two triangles congruent? Okay, so after revising this chapter a little bit, then we'll see similarity of triangles. That is the chapter of standard 10th. All right, fine. Children, first we'll see paths of triangle. Paths of triangle. How many paths triangle has? Yeah, you know it well. So suppose this is triangle ABC. Then what is line segment AB, line segment BC and line segment AC called? Sides, correct? So triangle has three sides, AB, BC, AC. Children, formally we used to write line segment AB, line segment BC, line segment AC in the state board books. But now we have NCERT, so we don't have to put this segment. Actually, what is the difference between line segment AB and AB? This is line segment, and AB means length of line segment. So we can use these two different symbols to which are connected with line segment. If bar is kept over AB, then it represents line segment, and if there is no bar over AB, it represents length of line segment. But in our NCERT book, we will be writing only AB. Now see where you have used. Sometimes AB will tell you it's line segment AB, and other times AB will tell you it is length of line segment AB. So you should know when you have to consider AB as line segment AB and AB as length of line segment AB. Alright, so these are the three sides of triangle. And then angle A, angle B, angle C. Angles, angles, angle A, angle B and angle C. And this 3 plus 3, 3 sides and 3 angles. Alright, making tally of 6 are called paths of triangle. So a triangle has how many parts? 6 parts. Either you may call it as paths, or even sometimes the word used is elements. So if you come across the word element, remember it is a part of a triangle. So how many parts a triangle has? A triangle has 6 parts. How many elements a triangle has? A triangle has 6 elements, and those 6 elements are 3 sides and 3 angles. Is that clear to you? Good. Alright then, let's see one very interesting thing. Say suppose you all have 3 chairs at home in your house. Chairs. Chair 1, chair 2, chair 3. Alright? And 3 guests. 3 guests. Mehman, 3 guests arrive at your house. Guest 1, guest 2 and guest 3. Well, so all the 3 chairs would be occupied by the guest, because we have 3 chairs and exactly 3 guests have arrived at your home. So now, what would be the sitting arrangement, possible sitting arrangement of this guest? In how many different ways these 3 guests can sit on these 3 chairs? All right, let's see. First, guest 1 sits on, guest 1 sits on chair 1. Guest 2 sits on chair 2. Guest 3 sits on chair 3. So this is the first arrangement. I may write like this. G1 sits on chair 1. G2 sits on chair 2. And G3 sits on chair 3. I'll put both the sides arrow. This is one arrangement. You can write this in short as G1, G2, G3 in same order, C1, C2, C3. G1, G2, G3 are connected in same order to C1, C2 and C3. Alright. Is there any other possible way? I write this G1, G2 and G3. Alright, let me remove this. Now, G1 sits on chair 1 as before, same. But G2 instead of C2 sits on C3. So G2 occupies chair 3. So only left chair is C2 for G3. So guest 3 occupies chair 2. So this is another arrangement, correct? G1, G2, G3 is connected to chair 1, chair 3 and chair 2 in that order. Alright. So this is one arrangement. This is second arrangement. Alright. Let's see if third arrangement is possible. Okay. Let's see. Now this time I don't change the second one. Guest 2 is connected to chair 2. Guest 1 instead of chair 1, he gets connected to chair 3. And a guest 3 gets connected to chair 1. So this is another arrangement. G1, G2, G3. G1 is connected to chair 3. G2 is connected to chair 2. And G3 is connected to chair 1. So this is new arrangement. G1, G2, G3 are associated with chair 3, chair 2 and chair 1 in that order. So this is the third arrangement that is possible. Correct? Either you say this or this. Alright. Now, are there any more ways? Let's see. Again, I remove this. Now let that G3 corresponds to, or G3 is connected to C3. G1, G2, G3. G3 is connected to C3. Correct? And this, instead of straight, G1 is connected to C2. And G2 is connected to C1. So you can say G1, G2, G3. These 3 guests are connected, are linked, are joined or are associated with chair 2, chair 1 and chair 3 in that order. Is that clear? So this is the fourth connection. Alright. G1 with chair 1. Correct? Alright. Now see. Are there any more possible arrangements? Can these 3 guests sit on these 3 chairs differently? Yes, still it is possible. Alright. See, G1 on C1, G1 on C1 2 times. G1 on C3, G1 on C3 second time is left. So G1 on C3. Alright. G1, G2, G3. G1 is sitting on chair 3. Now G2 is sitting on chair 2. G2 is sitting on chair 2. Instead of that, let's put on chair 1. G2 is sitting on chair 1. So the left one, G3 is sitting on chair 2. So this is new arrangement. G1, G2, G3 are associated with chair 3, chair 1 and a chair 2. Alright. So this is the fifth association, fifth arrangement. Alright. Still there is one. Here G1 is associated with chair 2 Again we do that. G1 is associated G1, G2, G3. G1 is associated with chair 2. G1 is associated with chair 2. G2 is associated with chair 1. G2 with chair 1, but this time let me take chair 3. I'll change it. So G3 will be associated with chair 1. So this is G1, G2, G3 are connected to C2, C3, C1 in that order. This is the sixth arrangement. After that, if you try, you will not get any more arrangement. So there are 6 possible arrangements if you have 3 guests and 3 chairs. How these 3 guests will sit on 3 chairs? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 possible ways. Alright, children. G1, G2, G3 is connected to C1, C2, C3 in that order. So G1 is associated with C1, G2 is associated with C2, G3 is associated with C3. G1, G2, G3 are connected to C1, C3, C2 in the same order. G1 is associated with chair 1, G2 is sitting on chair 3 and G3 is sitting on chair 2. So how many possible ways are there? 6. Mathematically, this symbol is for correspondence. This symbol, both side arrow, that is corresponds. And ये पूरा जो ब्रैकेट में है, that is called correspondence. So how many correspondences are possible between 3 guests and 3 chairs? Yes, 6 different correspondences are possible. G1, G2, G3 corresponds to C1, C2, C3. This is first correspondence. G1, G2, G3 corresponds to C1, C3, C2. This is second correspondence. G1, G2, G3 corresponds to C3, C2, C1. This is third correspondence. Like that you have 4th, 5th and 6th. So how many correspondences are possible between 3 guests and 3 chairs? 6. Mathematical term used is correspondence. Okay? Correspond means what? Associated, linked, connected, joined. Alright? Okay. Children, here let's talk about the correspondence between the vertices of 2 triangles. Alright? Let's say this is triangle DEF and this is triangle XYZ. How many correspondences are possible between these 2 triangles? Very easy to write. Yeah, we may have taken time, okay, to understand the correspondences between guests and chairs. But here it will be very easy because I am going to show you a trick. First triangle you write DEF. Alright? Or, alright, I'll write like this. DEF, 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 DEF 6 times because we know 6 correspondences are possible. Here we have 3 vertices. Vertices of triangle DEF and here vertices of triangle XYZ. How many vertices triangle DEF has? 3. Which are those? D, E and F. How many vertices triangle XYZ has? 3. Which are they? Point X, point Y and point Z. So 3 vertices. Clear? Okay. Now, we have XYZ. D corresponds to X. D corresponds to X. 2 बार लिख दिया. D corresponds to Y. D corresponds to Y. 2 times I have written. D corresponds to Z and D corresponds to Z. Now, E will correspond to what? X के बाद Y and Z. E will correspond, E and F will correspond to what? See, D corresponds to X, D corresponds to X. We already have E corresponds to Y. So this time you correspond Y with F and Z with E. Chaliye. Which are the remaining 2? D corresponds to X, Y in both these cases. The remaining one are xz. Now I'll write zx. In last two cases, D corresponds to Z. The remaining two are xy, and here I'll write yz. So this is correspondence 1, correspondence 2, correspondence 3, correspondence 4, correspondence 5, correspondence 6, which you may write as first correspondence. DEF corresponds to that x. Second, DEF corresponds to x 2 times. DEF corresponds to y. DEF corresponds to y again. Actually, D corresponds to x, D corresponds to x. D corresponds to y, D corresponds to y. Fifth, DEF, where D corresponds to z. And sixth, DEF, and D corresponds to z. X is already there, write down yz. You have written yz, reverse it, zy. Y is already there, x and z are left. You have written xz, write zx. Z is already there, remaining are x and y. You have written xy, then you write here yx. So same, DEF corresponds to xyz, that is first. DEF corresponds to xzy, that is second. DEF corresponds to yxz, that is third. DEF corresponds to yzx, that is fourth. DEF corresponds to zxy, that is fifth. And DEF corresponds to, so either you may write in this way or this way. Yeah, this is easier, so you can choose that. So how many correspondences are possible? How many correspondences are possible between, I'm writing short, the vertices, between the vertices of two triangles? How many correspondences are possible? 6. 6 correspondences are possible between the vertices of two triangles. Would you like to see this 6 correspondence? Which triangle is this? Can you see it properly? Triangle XYZ. And which triangle is this? Triangle DEF. Correct? Can you see triangle DEF? Alright. This is first correspondence. Children, see nicely now. Can you see D corresponds to X, E corresponds to Y, and F corresponds to Z. Can you see that? So DEF corresponds to X, Y, Z. Did you get that? Did you get that? Now I change this. Be careful. Again, X, Y, Z corresponds to E, F, D. Can you see that? So that is second correspondence. I am turning it now. Please watch nicely. X, Y, Z corresponds to F, E, D. F, D, E. Children, I have made mistake. Let's see once again. Fine. I'll keep this. Alright, like this. Can you see D, first correspondence, DEF corresponds to X, Y, Z. Can you see that? Alright. I'm just turning this. Again, D corresponds to X. Now DEF corresponds to XZY. Did you see that? Alright. Now this correspondence. This time D corresponds to, let me take Y. Can you see this? D corresponds to Y. So E corresponds to X and a Z corresponds to F. So DEF corresponds to YXZ. But if I overturn it like this, now same DEF corresponds to YZX. If you can see that. Alright. Now let us correspond D with Z. D corresponds to Z. Can you see that? Now DEF corresponds to ZXY. Can you see that? And if I overturn it, D again corresponds to Z. But DEF will correspond to ZYX. Earlier it was ZXY. Now it is ZYX. Can you see that? So these are the 6 correspondences. Say children, this is 1. This is 1 correspondence. I am turning it. Second. And this is third. If I turn again 4th time, the first one will come. This was the first arrangement. Now this is second. This is third. If I turn one more time, then it will come 4th. So only 3 times. Then I am overturning this. Now this is 4th. This is 5th. And this is 6th. So 6 correspondences are possible between the vertices of 2 triangles. Did you all understand that? Sure? Okay? Alright. So again, this correspondence, children, quite often you are going to use this word. A correspondence. How many possible correspondences are there between the vertices of 2 triangles? 6. Yes. Alright. Now, let's recall one term in mathematics. That term is called congruent. Do you know what is congruent? Do you know what is congruent? Alright, let's see. Here are 2 line segments. AB. PQ. The length is 11 units and this length is also 11 units. The unit may be centimeter or inches, anything. Alright. Now, both have same length. You can say AB is equal to PQ. AB means length of line segment AB. PQ means length of line segment PQ. Is that clear? So AB here, yeah, equal is there, no? Children, both are equal. That means this is length. PQ is length, not line segment. AB means length of line segment AB. PQ means length of line segment PQ. Is that clear? So lengths are equal. In this case, you can say line segments are congruent. So what do you mean by congruent? Here the 2 line segments have equal measure. And what is measured? Their length. They have equal length. They have equal measure. So they are called congruent line segments. Sure? Did you all understand? You have congruent line segments. Alright. Understood the word congruent? When can you say the 2 line segments are congruent? When both the line segments have equal measure. They have equal length. Let's talk about angle. Let's say this is angle ABC. Its measure is 70 degree. I'll draw another angle. Yes, I'll have to take exact measure. Let's say this is PQR. This is also 70 degree. So you have angle ABC equal to 70 degree, means measure of angle. Angle PQR is equal to 70 degree. They have equal measure. So angle ABC is equal to angle PQR. Their measures are equal. So you can say they are congruent. This is the symbol of congruent. Children, earlier I forgot. AB is equal to PQ. So you can say AB is congruent to PQ. This time AB represents line segment. When congruent sign is there, AB means line segment AB. When equal to sign is there, AB means length, the measure of line segment. Is that clear? Okay. So if measures are equal, then line segments are congruent. Okay. Here, the 2 angles have equal measure. The measure is in terms of degree measure. Angles are measured in degrees. So both have equal degrees. 70 degree, 70 degree. So the 2 triangles are having, okay. Angle ABC is equal to angle PQR. Here equal to sign is there. So this means measure of angle ABC is equal to measure of angle PQR. And since the measures are equal, I can say angle ABC is congruent to angle PQR. Now this time the symbol is congruent. This is the symbol of congruent. So here it's not measure, it is angle ABC. Children, one more thing. Earlier this was line segment AB. This was line segment PQ. If the two line segments are congruent, you pick up this line segment and overlap with AB. यही लाइन सेगमेंट यहां से उठाकर यहां लगा दो तो इट विल एक्जैक्टली ओवरलैप लाइन सेगमेंट AB. Line segment AB and line segment PQ will coincide. Either you can say they are overlapping, yeah, you can say coinciding. Correct? The two line segments are coinciding or two line segments are overlapping. But when will that happen? If those two line segments are congruent. Same way, these two angles are congruent. If I pick up this angle and place it on angle ABC, they will exactly coincide. They will exactly coincide. Can you realize that? Can you understand that, children? यहां से उठा के उसको यहां रख दो. Right? By animation that can be done very well. But still, you can imagine, your imagination power will improve there. So exactly it will overlap. So when the two angles have equal measure, the two angles will coincide with each other. And if two angles coincide with each other, they are called congruent angles. Correct? Look, what is this? You may say circle. You may say circle. Another circle. Now, are they congruent? They are congruent if their measures are equal. Now, what is their measure? You can talk about radius, you can talk about diameter, you can talk about circumference, you can talk about area. Plenty of measure it has. But let's talk about diameter, the best. Okay? Now, let's see if they are coinciding. I have two circles. Can you see blue circle? No. You can see yellow circle. Why? Because blue circle is coinciding with yellow circle. Now can you see yellow circle? No. You can see only the blue circle. Because blue circle and yellow circle are exactly coinciding with each other. So these two circles are congruent because they have equal measure. Which measure are you talking about? Their diameters are equal. So they are coinciding. Their radii are equal. Let's say diameter. Let's talk about diameter. So the diameters of these two circles are equal. So they are congruent. They are congruent. If you have smaller circle, say suppose red circle is there, small, it is smaller than this, then they will not be congruent because they will not coincide. They will not have equal diameters. Is that clear? So these are two congruent circles because they are overlapping, because they are coinciding, and they are either overlapping or coinciding because their diameters are equal, because their radii are equal, you can say. Okay. What is this? A square. All sides are equal. This is another square. Correct? You can see. Let's try to coincide. We have two squares. Green and pink. Green and pink. Green and pink. But because they are exactly coinciding, you can see green one only. And now you can see only pink one. Is that clear? Why? Because they are congruent. These two squares are congruent because they have equal measure. This is 10 centimeter, then all these four sides are 10 centimeters. इसके चारों साइड 10 सेंटीमीटर each है, तो इसके भी चारों साइड 10 सेंटीमीटर each है. Then they will coincide. Okay? Here is one rectangle. Here is one rectangle. Children, इसको कैसे भी घुमा दो, any way, ऐसे, ऐसे. Actually, 8 correspondences will be possible because यहाँ 4 vertices are there. So 8 correspondences would be possible. You understand? Forget about those correspondences. But कैसे भी रखो, they will be congruent because all 4 sides are equal. All right. But these are two rectangles now. Yes, they are coinciding. So the two rectangles are congruent because their meshes are equal. You can see only the pink one, and this time you can see only the green one. All right, okay. But if I put like this, if I correspond, okay, this is one correspondence, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth. I turn it fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. Well, out of 8, 4 correspondences are congruent and 4 are not. Here you cannot say they are overlapping. Yes, now they are overlapping. Anyway, these two triangles are congruent because their lengths and breadths are congruent. Yeah, equal. Okay, their measures are equal. Fine. Now, this is some shape, but not a routine shape like triangle or quadrilateral. Some shape, geometrical shape is there. Correct? Now, similar shape I have here. Are they congruent? Now, let's see. If I try to arrange like this, no, they are not. If I try to arrange like this, no, they are not. If I try to arrange like this, turn in, yeah, here you can see they are congruent. Okay, they are congruent. So these two objects are congruent because their measures are equal. All right then. Now the question is, when are the two triangles congruent? Well, you might say when the two triangles coincide, when two triangles overlap with each other, they are congruent. Yes. But when will the two triangles coincide? If they are, you can say if their measures are equal. But what of a triangle are measured? 3 angles and 3 sides are measured. Any triangle has 3 sides and 3 angles, and they are measured. So you can say when 3 angles of first triangle are congruent to 3 angles of other triangle. Same time, 3 sides of first triangle are congruent to the 3 sides of other triangle, then those two triangles are having same measure. In short, all 6 parts of first triangle are equal to the corresponding 6 parts. Okay? All 6 parts of first triangle are equal, yeah, congruent to corresponding parts of the other triangle, then those two triangles are definitely going to coincide. Alright? And if the two triangles coincide, they are called congruent triangles. And the correspondence for which they are congruent is called congruence. We'll see that. Okay. Can you see two triangles here? First, let me see if they are overlapping. Right. I correspond like this. Angle B ko angle. Alright. Angle C is connected to angle P. Correct? This way I am connecting. But I don't think they are going to overlap. Are they overlapping? No. I'll try to connect like this. Second way. No. I'll try to connect like this. Third way. No. Overturning it. Yes, that fourth way. The fourth correspondence is congruent. Can you see this? These two triangles are congruent. Why they are congruent? Because angle A is congruent to angle P. Can you see this? Angle A and behind angle P are equal. Angle C and angle R are equal. Angle B and angle Q are equal. Correct? Angle B and angle Q are equal. Angle C and angle R are equal. Angle P and angle A are equal. So angle A corresponds to angle P. Angle A is not congruent to angle R, children. See this here. Angle A and angle R are not equal. They are not congruent. A corresponds to P, then they become congruent. C corresponds to R and B corresponds to Q. So you can say ABC corresponds to P, Q, R is congruence. આ જે correspondence છે એને congruence કહેવાય અને આ બે triangle છે એને congruent કહેવાય. So the correspondence ABC corresponds to PQR is congruence. Congruence. And triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Is that clear to you? Okay. Alright. So why these two triangles are congruent? You will say they are overlapping, they are coinciding. But why they are coinciding? Because angle A is equal to angle P, angle B is equal to angle Q, and angle C is equal to angle R. Not just that, the side AB, see this side AB and side PQ, they are equal. AB and PQ are equal, BC and QR are equal, AC and PR are equal. So, for this two triangle ABC and triangle PQR, angle A is equal to angle P. I am putting some symbols to show angle A and angle P are equal. Angle B is equal to angle Q, or angle B and angle Q are congruent. Angle C is congruent to angle R. So, all the three angles of first triangle are congruent to corresponding angles. I cannot say angle A is congruent to angle Q. Angle A is congruent. They are not congruent. Angle A is congruent to angle P only. So, we have to say A and P are corresponding angles. So, all the three angles of first triangle are congruent or equal to corresponding angles of the other triangle. Other AB is equal to PQ. See those symbols? I put cut mark on the two sides, AB and PQ. That shows AB is equal to PQ. PC is equal to QR. And AC is equal to PR. So all the three sides of first triangle are equal, congruent to the corresponding sides. I cannot say AB is equal to QR because they are not equal. AB is equal to only PQ. So we have to say sides of one triangle are congruent to sides of other triangle, like corresponding sides of other triangle. Is that clear to you? So when all the angles and sides of one triangle are equal or congruent to corresponding sides and angles of the other triangle, then the correspondence, वो 6 में से जो एक है, that correspondence is said to be congruence and the triangles are said to be congruent. Please try to understand. I am going to write the definition. For a given correspondence, चलिए, in this example, which correspondence is given? ABC corresponds to PQR. You know, A corresponds to P, B corresponds to Q, and C corresponds to R. So for a correspondence, इसको कहते हैं correspondence. Out of 6, I chose this. Yes, angle A is congruent to angle P. Angle B is congruent to angle Q. Angle C is congruent to angle R. See the symbol? AB is equal to PQ. BC is equal to QR. AC is equal to PR. So all corresponding angles and corresponding sides are equal. So for a given correspondence between the vertices of two triangles, if all the angles and sides of one triangle are, either use the word congruent or you can say equal to the corresponding, here you wrote angles and sides, so here also you write angles and sides of one triangle, and this is other triangle. Then if this condition is fulfilled, then the correspondence, ये आपने जो correspondence लिया, then the correspondence is said to be congruence, yeah, you can say congruency, and the triangles are said to be congruent. Triangles are congruent and correspondence is congruence. Remember, triangles congruent, correspondence congruence. Is that clear? So when is a given correspondence between vertices of two triangles congruence? When if all the angles and sides of one triangle are equal or congruent to corresponding angles and corresponding sides of the other triangle. Children, can we write one word for this? Angles and sides. What are angles and sides? Here I will write angles and sides, but here I am not going to write angles and sides. What are angles and sides of a triangle called? Parts of triangle, elements of triangle. You have seen in the beginning of this video. So parts, or you may say elements. Now I'll read the statement. This is the definition of congruent triangles. Congruence. For a given correspondence between the vertices of two triangles, out of 6, any one. For a given correspondence between the vertices of two triangles, if, that big condition, if all the angles and sides of one triangle are equal or congruent to the corresponding parts. Instead of saying angles and sides, corresponding parts, corresponding elements of the other triangle, then this correspondence is said to be congruent and the two triangles are said to be congruent. Did you understand? Okay, sure. So this is the definition of congruent triangles. Is that clear? Understood? All the corresponding sides and corresponding angles must be congruent. Then the triangles will coincide. So you can say the two triangles are having same measure, so they are congruent. Okay. So let's see some examples. All right. You may take a screenshot of this definition and then you can write down. If you want to write angles and sides, you may. Instead, if you want to write parts, you may. Okay. Sure. Sure. Question is, check whether the given pairs of triangles are congruent or not. First triangle ABC. The second triangle, let's say PQR. The symbol A is okay. I'll write this. This is 40 degree. This one is also 40 degree. This is okay. This is looks like 90, so I'll put 90. Then this is 50, and this is 40. This is 50. This is 40. All right. This is 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5 centimeter. All right. Look at these two triangles given to you, children. Please. The red one and the black one. Be careful. Can you say angle A is equal to angle P? Yes. Angle A is equal to angle P. Can you say angle B equal to angle R? Yes. Because both angles have measure 40 each. So angle B is equal to angle R. And angle C equal to angle Q? Yes, because each have measure 50. Alright. Can you say AB is equal to PQ? Yes, 3 centimeter, 3 centimeter. So AB is equal to PQ. BC equal to QR. You can say RQ or QR, whatever you want. BC is equal to RQ or QR. You can write for line segment. And third, AC equal to PQ. AC equal to PQ. See, for red triangle, I have written all its parts on left hand side, and color also is maintained. Here, angle A 90, angle P 90. So angle A is congruent to angle P. B 40, R 40. So angle B is equal to angle R, yeah, congruent to R. Angle C is congruent to angle. AB is equal to PR segment. BC equal to RQ or QR, you can say. AC equal to PQ. Correct? Yes, children. If angles and sides, corresponding angles and corresponding sides are equal, then a correspondence. अभी कौन सा correspondence? चिल्ड्रन, ये लेफ्ट साइड पे मैंने रेड ट्राइंगल का लिखा, तीनों एंगल दिया. I'll write in the order. ABC corresponds to dash dash dash. ABC corresponds to dash dash dash. Why I have written dash? From angles you get direct correspondence. Angle A corresponds to angle P. So A is in the first order, so write P in the first order. B is equal to R, so B corresponds to R. B is in the second order, so write R in the second order. C is in the third order, C is congruent to Q. Is congruence. Why this correspondence is congruence? By definition of congruent triangles, because corresponding angles, all corresponding angles and all three corresponding sides are equal. Children, if I try to put this here, will it coincide? No. P, yeah, इसको overturn करके करना पड़ेगा. Okay? Sorry. It will coincide. सीधा रखेंगे तो भी coincide होगा. ABC corresponds to PRQ. Are you getting me here? If I had written Q here and R here, sometimes you will see that. आगे जाके हम देखते हैं, right? So here correspondence ABC corresponds to PRQ is congruence by definition. Therefore, triangle ABC and triangle PRQ are congruent. ये symbol congruent का आया because triangle is put here. Here only ABC and PRQ, that is correspondence. But when triangle symbol is put, this is congruent. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. After writing this, if you want to change, you can change. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle. Instead of PRQ, you can say PQR. This you can do only if the symbol of triangle is there. But you should never try to do that. Never change the correspondence. जो correspondence है वही triangle के symbol के साथ लिखना. But most times we will not need to write this. अच्छा, now the question is, how could you write triangle PRQ as triangle PQR? अभी बताइए. Name this triangle. Somebody will say triangle PQR. किसी ने ऐसे बोल दिया triangle PQR. किसी ने Q से start कर दिया QRP, triangle QRP. किसी ने R से start कर दिया triangle RPQ और clockwise गए. भाई किसी ने P से start किया लेकिन एंटी क्लॉकवाइज गए ट्राइंगल PRQ. किसी ने R से start करके एंटी क्लॉकवाइज ट्राइंगल RQP. किसी ने Q से start करके एंटी क्लॉकवाइज गए सो ट्राइंगल QPR. So you can name a triangle in 6 different ways. Triangle PQR ये है. Triangle QRP this one only. Triangle RPQ यही तो है. Triangle QPR the same one. Triangle RQP the same one. Triangle PRQ the same one. So if I say triangle PRQ or triangle PQR, it is the same one. Do you understand? But that you can change only after the symbol of triangle is there and congruence here. In this you should never change. But we will never do this. We will keep as it is. We won't try to be extra smart there. Alright? जो correspondence है उसी को triangle के symbol में लिखकर कर सकते. लेकिन चेंज करना हो तो आप कर सकते हैं after putting the symbol of triangle. The reason is this. Is that clear to you? Sure. Okay. Children, ये दो triangle congruent हमने prove किया. Using what? The definition. लेकिन definition में तो इसके 6 parts congruent to corresponding 6 parts of the other triangle prove करना पड़ता है ना? चलिए देखते हैं. Second example, whether the two triangles are congruent or not. Second example, triangle DON, triangle PAT. All right. Now I'll put only symbols. This angle is congruent to this angle. Okay, fine. This is 100 degree. This is also 100 degree. This is 40 degree. This is also 40 degree. Okay, this is 30. This is 30. This is, okay, this should be 30 and this should be 50. This should be 30 and this should be 50. Now this measurement is 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter. This measurement is 8 centimeter, 8 centimeter. And this measurement is, all right, I'll change this, 40 and 40. All right, 8, not 8, this is 9 centimeter. And this is 10 centimeter. And this is 7 centimeter. All right. Chalo. 100, 100. So you can say angle D is equal to angle B. 40 nahi hai. There's no 40 there, no 30, no 50. No, not equal. So only one angle is equal and one side OD is equal to AP. 5, 5. So only one corresponding angle and one corresponding side is equal. So these two triangles can never be congruent. आप 6 all 6 correspondence try कर लो. 1, 2, 3 overdone. 5, 6 4, 5, 6 एक भी correspondence के लिए वो लोग congruent नहीं होंगे. अरे they will be congruent only if corresponding angles and corresponding sides are equal. लेकिन यहाँ तो सिर्फ एक corresponding angle और एक corresponding side equal है. बाकी के corresponding angles and corresponding sides are not equal. So the two triangles are not congruent. कोई भी correspondence ले लो, they are not congruent. Is that clear to you? Okay. Third example. This is 90, 50, 40. This is triangle PQR and this is triangle XYZ. This is 3, 4, 5 and this is 6, 10 and 8. Alright? Please pay attention. Yeah, angle P is equal to angle X. Angle Q 50, 50. Angle Q is equal to angle Y. 40, 40. So angle R equal to angle Z. PQ is not equal to 3, 4, pi. Yeah, 3, 4, pi hai nahi. So only corresponding angles are congruent. Corresponding sides are not congruent. And by definition, you have to show corresponding sides are also congruent. If the corresponding sides be congruent with angles, then only they are congruent. So this two triangle PQR and XYZ, for any given correspondence, they are not congruent. Alright, is that clear? Check. Next example. Triangle MEN and triangle WHY. This is 80 degree, this is 80 degree, this is 50, this is 50, this is 50, this is 50, this is 4, 4, 6, 6 centimeter, 6.2, okay, this has to be 4, 4, alright. बोलिए, angle M 80, angle W 80. So angle M is equal to angle W. Angle E equal to H. Y भी ले सकते हैं, हम H ले लेंगे. Angle N equal to angle Y. ME, measure of side ME is same as WH. EN is equal to HY and 6 each. And MN equal to WY. Correct? Alright. So, yeah, all corresponding angles and all corresponding sides are equal. So, one of the correspondence, not 6. Now, which correspondence? I am writing here MEN. A correspondence. A correspondence. MEN corresponds to. Now, from angle you get direct correspondence. Chaliye. Dash, dash, dash. M corresponds to W. M is in the first order, so W should be in the first order. E corresponds to H. E is in the second order, so H should be in the second order. N corresponds, so remaining one, this is fill in the blanks, WH. W or H aa gaya, the remaining one is what? A correspondence, MEN corresponds to WHY is congruence by definition. Therefore, if you want, you write this down. Triangle MEN is congruent to triangle WHY. So these two triangles are congruent. They coincide. Okay, children. Now we have seen few examples where we use the definition of congruency of triangles and proved two triangles are congruent or not. Children, proving two triangles are congruent using definition is a laborious work. It's very lengthy. It is time consuming. So are there any shortcuts by which we can show that the two triangles are congruent? The answer is yes. Instead of showing all 6 corresponding paths congruent, we can show only 3 corresponding paths congruent and the two triangles become congruent. But those are the conditions for two triangles to be congruent. So we will see that in the next session, in the next video. Today we end up a session here.